The Raptors fall in Siakam and Powell's return to the lineup and DeMar DeRozan's return to Toronto. 105-104 at Scotiabank Arena there this evening. And look, this team had it under control. The Raptors played a great first three quarters. They're playing fantastic defense. And then they just forget how to defend in the fourth and completely lose shots. They can't make shots at all in the fourth. If I'm not mistaken, San Antonio went on like a 17-0 run or something like that in the fourth. That's ridiculous. You can't let that happen, especially at home. And you lose by 105-104. We can break this thing down. You can break down each little nitpicky thing from later in this game all you want, but I'm not here to do that. I'm here to talk about what happened today and explain it. So, first quarter, again, Raptors play a really good first quarter. They lead by 7 after 1. They're knocking down shots, especially early in the game. They were up, They're up by at least 10 early on, and they were really, really feeling it. Now they dwindle it down to 7, but it's okay. You still got a 7-point lead after one quarter. In the second, both teams kind of have trouble shooting the basketball. However, Raptors +1 after in the second quarter, 23-22. So, you're up by 8 at halftime. That's not bad. I'll take that going into halftime, especially with Siakam and Powell back in the lineup. Good to see them back out there. Obviously, DeMar DeRozan's returning to Toronto today, and it was great to see another reception for him there. In the third quarter, you got to come out and do a good job. They did exactly that. They allowed them to only score 26. Raptors scored 31. The Raptors were up by 13 at the end of 3 quarters of play. You're feeling awesome. Heading into the fourth, you got a nice lead. You just got to play a sound defensive game, make some shots, and you're going to win this game. Well, that was difficult, apparently. In the fourth quarter, as I mentioned, they go on like a 17-0 run or something very, very large like that. Raptors can't make a shot to save their life. They can't defend to save their life. They go away from attacking DeMar DeRozan on the defensive end. As much as we love Debo, we all know his problems were at the defensive end, and they weren't attacking with Pascal Siakam. I understand. Pascal just came back from the injury, so they limited his minutes to only 30, and you damn well know if he was 100% and, he didn't have any injury he just came off of, he'd be playing 40 minutes at least. But that didn't happen today, and in the fourth, I don't know, nobody just couldn't make a shot. There were some wide open looks. They couldn't make a shot. Look, credit the Spurs. They did play very solid defense out there. But the Raptors, when they got the wide open looks, just were not hitting them. And defensively, a ton of breakdowns. It was really awful to watch. And they got it back when they were down by 9 with 3.5 to play. You had to find a way at that point. And the Raptors hit 3 straight threes. Lowry, Powell, Ibaka. And you're tied. And we're like, holy smokes, they came back. What is happening here in this game? This is really shaping up to be like the one last year against San Antonio, where Lowry and Kawhi got the steal leading the dunk when it looked like the game was pretty much over and the Raptors were going to lose that. They came away with that win. And today, it looked like it was going to be a win for the Raptors, and it turned around. DeMar DeRozan comes away with their victory, 105-104. He hits a lot of big free throws late, 25-8-4 for DeMar DeRozan out there today. And look, this wasn't a pretty game. It was great until the fourth, and then we're all sitting there watching this game like, what's going on here? Can somebody make a shot? And it took till 3.5 when you're down by 9. When you're down by 9 to try and find a way, and it's you can't have that happen. You know what I mean? You just can't let things like that happen at home, especially going on a drought like that. It's really difficult. You saw what happened. I'm going way back here. I think it was game 2 of the NBA Finals last year against the Golden State Warriors. That ridiculous run that Golden State went on, it just destroyed the Raptors in that game, and they ended up losing that. What happened today? They give up a huge run to start the fourth quarter, and all the momentum is totally gone. You had to try and grab it late, but it was too little too late. And there were some plays late in this basketball game that you could have done a better job with. Obviously Pascal Siakam having DeMar DeRozan in the post, with looking for they were down by 1, I think it was. So you're looking for, or maybe even 2, looking for the tie or at least the lead. And I think it was a tie game you were looking for at that point. And he spins past DeRozan. He's got to bank it off the glass and in. He banks off the glass, but it rims out. Pascal, I think we could all assure each other that 99 times out of 100, Pascal's making that shot. But that one time happened tonight as it rims out. DeMar goes to the line, makes it a 4-point game. Then Lowry takes a stupid 3, makes the shot. And then, Aldridge misses both free throws, which I don't know if I'm happy or not that he missed both. But then we get the rebound, and Siakam comes off the floor, and they swarm him, and he tries to chuck one up. And, do you agree with that? Look, we can all sit here and debate if Siakam should have taken that shot. You can sit here and say, okay, Lowry wasn't great in this basketball game. However, if you watch the replay, he was wide open to the left, so he could have maybe dished it off, but would he have had time to get the shot away? I don't know. Do you trust a guy like Ibaka taking a three for the win? I don't know. Powell had a great game, but he just came back from an injury. Do you trust him with that? That's the question you always have, and that's why I'm not mad that Pascal Siakam took that last shot, because he's our guy. Offensively and points-wise and, that kind of thing, he's our guy. He's our offensive weapon. Lowry's great. Look, we can sit here and talk about who's great and all that, but we all know Pascal drives a lot of that offense, and he struggled today in his debut. He came out guns a-blazing. It was like 4 of 4 from the field, but ended up 6 of 17, and that tells you right there how he finished the basketball game. Really struggled shooting the ball. 15, 5, and 4 for Pascal. 2 of 6 from 3, 1 of 2 from the line, and a +6 while he was on the floor. But again, so games like these do happen, and it sucks that it was against DeRozan at home, and you got these two guys back. You think you're going to have a great time and guns a-blazing on offense and whatnot, and that doesn't happen. So I think the next few games are going to be quite interesting because of the fact that now that Powell and Siakam have had their feet wet a little bit now. Now, Powell did a great job tonight. 20 points on 8 of 14. He picked up right where he left off. He looks extremely comfortable out there. We'll get to him more in a second, though. So it's going to be a really interesting test to see what happens moving forward. I don't know the schedule yet. I haven't looked towards the next game, but I will talk about that in a jiffy here. Raptors do only shoot 41% from the field. That's an issue. You can't let that happen. Obviously, when Pascal's shooting 6-17, it's kind of tough. Lowry had a tough night shooting. Made a couple big shots late in the game, but struggled overall shooting the basketball in this one. 35% from 3, 17 for 48. Very good. They only shot 7 for 32, 22 from beyond the arc. So a big thing, though, and you guys can argue about the referees all you want, and there were some itty-bitty calls for us, and there was not some calls against us, and all that kind of crazy stuff that happened. The free throws, though, 30 for the San Antonio Spurs, 11 for the Toronto Raptors. So you guys can take that for what it is. We did take 16 more threes, so you're taking a lot of shots from outside. So you can talk about that. Ideally, they had what, 3 or 4 kind of 3-point shots that were fouls. So I don't know. You guys can go nuts in the comments about referees if you guys are interested in that. Go ahead. Rebounding, it wasn't very good. They were +6, 51-45 on the offensive glass, 9-8 in favor of the Spurs. Raptors did move the ball around, and we talked about it, ever since those guys went down with injury. We've talked about how the ball movement isn't really a thing right now because guys like Powell, guys like Siakam, are guys that get out and run, and guys like Freddie VanVleet and guys like Marc Gasol and guys like Lowry dish to these guys to make their shots. You get a couple of those guys who can finish back. 30 assists for the Raptors in this one. Big number there. That's what you like to see. Ball moving like crazy. 7 steals to their 6, 3 blocks to their 5, 11, and both teams with 11 turnovers. They crushed us in the paint, though. 46-32, a big time there. Big. I mean, look, Jakob Poeltl and LaMarcus Aldridge, they're great interior defenders. They may not be great perimeter defenders, but they can protect in the paint, and that's what you saw there today for them. Second chance points, obviously they won the offensive glass category by 1. They won the second chance category by 4, 11-7, and in the fast break was not very good for Toronto in this one. 26-17. Not very good. This team's got to get stops and get out and run. That's where they become so dangerous. They aren't doing that right now. We're going to have to figure things out moving forward. Let's get through the numbers here. Let's talk about the players and see what happened here. Like we already talked about Pascal's numbers. OG Anunoby, I want this guy to take some more shots. I mean, I don't know if you guys feel the same way about this, but he played 29 minutes. He had 8 points, 3 boards, couple assists. Doesn't sound too great, right? But he was 3 of 5 from the field, 1 of 1 from the free throw line, and he made the 1 3 he took. So why not take some more shots? I mean, he had a steal in the ball game as well. It was a +10 when he was on the floor. He did great. And Serge Ibaka sets a career high 8 straight. I was going to say triple doubles. He ain't that good. 8 straight double-doubles for Serge Ibaka. 21 points, 14 rebounds in this one. 9 of 16 shooting. 3 of 6 from 3. Look, the reason I was okay with him shooting the 3 today, because you saw how confident he was feeling. When Serge Ibaka is making his mid-range, and you see him take 1 3, and he knocks it down, and it's more or less his first one, he kind of gets in that rhythm. And you saw that in this one, right? Where he felt great on offense, that he was just taking shot after shot after shot, and he was making them. So he's like, all right, I'm going to step it out and take a couple threes. And he does, and he was 50% from beyond. He knocked down 3 threes. Big night for Serge Ibaka there. Great job. Plus 12 while he was on the floor. And Lowry, look, you could talk about his 5 for 15 shooting. You could talk about his 4 of 12 from 3. I mean, I know people are going to talk about it. I'm waiting to hear it. And he was 2 of 2 from the line. Had a couple steals in the ball game, plus 2 on the floor. Lowry had 16 points. Yeah, he didn't shoot the ball very well. Had 3 rebounds. 15 assists! 15! Look, again, you can talk all the garbage you want. Lowry in the game did knock down 4 threes. He had 2 steals. He was a plus player. He gave you 16 points, and he had 16 points, 15 assists. Very good game for Kyle Lowry. I thought he was great. Took a couple charges in this one, and I thought he was really good in this ball game. And like I said, Norman Powell, he had a great basketball game. Great return for Powell. He looked a lot of confidence in him. And guys, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but when watching Norman Powell take shots today, not only does he look confident, but he looks calm. You know, we were so used to seeing Powell in other games take quick threes, take, hesitant threes, and he looked really rough taking shots. But tonight, at least tonight, that's from what I noticed, his shot looked extremely smooth, and he looked in motion, and everything looked great for Norman Powell. Like I said, 20 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists, 8 of 14, shooting 4 of 7 from 3. Had a steal in the game. He was a -3, was out there. And Patrick McCaw, people. 20 minutes for Patrick McCaw. 2 points, 2 boards, 2 assists on 1 of 3, shooting 0 of 2 from 3. -18! I wonder who was out there for that big run against. Well, maybe Powell was, and maybe, he had to bring Siakam back in because it was getting out of hand. But Pat McCaw was a -18 in this basketball game. Plus, he did nothing on offense. He didn't get anything turnover-wise. He didn't do anything. And he played 20 minutes. When Fred VanVleet comes back, people, I swear, we're not going to see really anything of Patrick McCaw. Yeah, ideally, Pat McCaw is 6'7", and VanVleet's not. So I don't know what's going to end up happening there. Hollis-Jefferson, I liked a little bit of the energy I saw from him off the bench. 18 minutes, 9.6 rebounds on 3 of 9 shooting, which is a little rough. 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 1 3, which I'm okay with him only taking 1 because I don't want to see any more of that. 1 steal and a block for Rondae, and a -7 on the floor. The bench didn't get a whole lot going in this one, though. Matt Thomas, 6 points and a rebound on 2 of 6 shooting, 2 of 5 from on the arc, and -4 while he was out there. And Terrence Davis, after picking up a career-high 23 against Charlotte in his last game, puts up a goose egg in this one. 0 of 6, 0 of 5 from 3. And he was a +3 while he was out there, but he only played the 12 minutes. A really rough game for Terrence Davis. But again, a young guy, this is what you expect from a young player, right? A bad game, then a great game, then a really bad game again. You with a young guy trying to establish himself, these type of games will happen. Now, it would have been great to see Terrence Davis knock down some shots, though, because this team really needed that. But, it happens sometimes. And Chris Boucher off the bench, 9 minutes, 7 points, 3 rebounds, and assists on 2 of 5, shooting 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 of 3 from 3, 2 blocks, a steal, and a -3 was out there, including getting absolutely posterized from DeMar DeRozan. Oh, my goodness. Look, I'm a Raptor fan, and I know DeMar is a huge, everyone's a diehard DeMar fan if you are a Raptor fan, and if you're not, then okay, I don't really care. But at that point, that was nice. That was vintage DeMar. We're talking, maybe not to the extent of the Rudy Gobert fiasco in Utah, if you guys know what I'm talking about, or the playoffs against Milwaukee. That was a mean one. Or the one against Detroit that clinched a playoff spot. I think it was a couple of years ago. There were some mean dunks for DeRozan in his time as a Raptor. That one was pretty damn nice. All right? And guys, like I said, it wasn't a very pretty end to the game. They should have won this basketball game, but they caved in at the end. They could not make shots. They could not defend, and they got 36 points in the fourth quarter to lose by 105-104 to the San Antonio Spurs. All right? The next contest for the Toronto Raptors is not until Wednesday, but they are in Oklahoma City taking on the Thunder, and that team is playing extremely confident. They lost their last game to the Lakers. However, they're playing extremely good ball. We saw them when they were here, and the referees did miss 2 calls at the end, and we're not going to get into that because they, the NBA reviews it afterwards. Oh, we missed both calls. Yeah, nice. In the final minute. I don't care now. But you're going to OKC to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder, which is going to be a really tough task. And then you welcome in Washington, the Wizards, on Friday night. All right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed the video and enjoyed the ball game overall today, smack the like button. Do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the game, your thoughts on the video. Also, Twitter is down below for myself, guys. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. Also, the Patreon link is down below. Guys, sign up to that if you guys are interested. I would love to be on there more often, but that's up to you guys. If you guys want to sign up to that, then I'll be more into it with you guys. But that's up to you. The link is down in the description if you guys are interested in signing up for that. And I will talk to you guys Leafs edition. They're getting absolutely hammered by the Panthers tonight, so yippee, another great video going to be happening later tonight. Yippee! And as for the Toronto Raptors, as we talked about, their next game is on Wednesday night, 8 p.m. tip-off in Charlotte for some reason, in Oklahoma City as they take on the Thunder. Shai Gilgeous, Chris Paul, and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys then.